The idea of the unity of reality has been forged by the pre-Socratics, like many other fundamental ideas. You may find traces in earlier mythological expressions, and then we don't know because we don't have the evidence. People, we don't have texts. We don't know what people 200,000 years ago thought about the unity of reality. But as soon as we have documents, it looks as if there's a transition from certain mythological expressions and commitments to the unity of reality to a clear-cut expression of it in pre-Socratic thought in the West, and almost at the same time in Buddhism and other areas of the world, which is why the German philosopher Karl Jaspers has called this period of humanity the axial age. Okay, the axial age is characterized by the widespread global idea that there's a single thing, reality as a whole. And at the time, it was often just called being. Okay, so this is Parmenides' word for it, being. When Parmenides says being, he means this one thing, which is why he also uses the metaphor of a sphere. He thinks it's a sphere, and we are somewhere in a sphere. Probably, of course, at the time they thought at the center, but nevertheless, it's a sphere. So something that encompasses everything. That's the origin of the idea. And if you look at the mythological expressions, so as it were, the anthropology behind it, that's also quite interesting. It's pretty much as if people were looking outside of their caves and saw that there literally was a horizon, and the horizon divided heaven and earth. So they thought that reality then, or the world, would be precisely that stage, okay, heaven and earth, which is why one word for everything, or one way to express everything, the idea of absolutely everything, in mythological and early religious thinking, is by talking about heaven and earth. Remember, in Genesis 1:1, it's not said that God created the world. That's not a quote. Also, he didn't create the universe, nor nature, nor the cosmos. Those ideas weren't even available. He created heaven and earth. That's remarkable. Okay, so heaven and earth. You find the same in all the big cultures of the time. It's always heaven and earth, wherever that idea might be coming from. But I think the anthropological ground is people, seeing the horizon from an almost safe distance. Maybe when they started dwelling in caves. So they could look at reality as if it was like a scene. And that scene was everything that happens between heaven and earth. So that's the idea, that's the origin, I think, of metaphysics, a description of that scene.